You might not know this, but I am a huge Final Fantasy XIV fan, and today it was just announced that Final Fantasy XIV will be making its way to the mobile platform. This comes, of course, after Final Fantasy XIV has finally been released on Xbox, and talks from Square Enix about how Final Fantasy XIV and other games are going to make their way to more platforms. So let's talk about this going to mobile and why I'm so excited. Long story short, you might not know this about me, but I have been covering Final Fantasy XIV for years. Now, I don't play as much as the hardcores out there, but this mobile port has me incredibly excited. Earlier this year, Final Fantasy XIV was announced for the Xbox platform, and fans have been welcoming Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy XIV community is hands down one of the best communities I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. It's just great. They're super welcoming. They're willing to help you out. And even the World of Warcraft community has also been pretty welcoming to newcomers like myself. So these huge MMOs going to more places, I just think it's great. And I'm very, very excited. So this came via a basically direct-to-cam interview that they had shot themselves, where the producer and director Naoki Yoshida said, "I am excited to announce the development of Final Fantasy XIV Mobile. This is our latest MMORPG title specifically tailored to the mobile platform. Despite these adjustments, Lightspeed Studios is working with tremendous enthusiasm and dedication to faithfully recreate the story, duties, battle content, and other aspects of the original game." Now, this is obviously media released from their own website, and this is the actual website. The important thing to note is if you're even remotely a Final Fantasy XIV fan, you're going to want to go ahead and click this sign up button and make sure that you're signed up so that you can get in on any early access or any of the content that might be released in the coming weeks. Maybe I'm shouting at the cloud here, but sign up for it, especially if you play these games. Obviously, you can see the graphics are looking quite good for Final Fantasy XIV. It's an older game, so the fact that it's being ported to mobile, I think, is great. And if you look at big successes like Genshin Impact comes to mind, you just basically compare a controller to your platform of your choice and get going. And that game has a lot of the same flash and features that Final Fantasy XIV would have, albeit Final Fantasy XIV will be a little bit more mechanically complicated because it is an MMORPG. But that said, looking at the website, they have some interesting stuff, and they also refer back to their own announcements. Now, the producer said, "I hope both current Final Fantasy XIV players and those who are interested in exploring its story will look forward to what's coming next." Now, I think fans are really, really going to be welcoming for this. They just sort of launched this out of nowhere. We've been talking about Final Fantasy XI potentially coming to mobile someday, Final Fantasy XIV maybe coming to mobile, and then they just announced it. They even dropped a YouTube page where they have a 13-minute long interview with the creator where he's sort of talking about why he's excited, and I really need to get ad block or buy YouTube Premium. But anyway, yeah, so he's talking and giving a little bit more insight into what you can expect from Final Fantasy XIV and what it's going to look like in terms of visuals, and it's cool. Mobile games are huge. Mobile games are this massive market that everybody's trying to break into right now. And I think that this is going to be a great entry that a lot of people are going to play and get to experience. Now, beyond that, what else do we got here? They made some comments about what to expect. Oh yeah, that's right. So they said, Lightspeed Studios has gone to great lengths to ensure Final Fantasy XIV Mobile faithfully recreates the original game's award-winning gameplay and story experience. Final Fantasy XIV Mobile retains lifestyle content such as fishing, triple triad, and chocobo racing. Additionally, players can immerse themselves in the meticulously crafted visual experience that defines Eorza on mobile. Visual elements from the intricate weather and time of day systems, which offer over 600 different weather patterns across various landscapes, to player characters and equipment designs, have been painstakingly crafted and optimized to bring the detail of the original game to life. So they're spending a lot of time making sure that the game ends up looking faithful to the original, and that is obviously wonderful to hear. Now I'm trying to find the page where they actually did the reveal. Yeah, so here's the actual press release. They just straight up put the press release right on here. You can see the mobile, you know, the traditional great Final Fantasy 14 art, and they showed some of the in-game shots. Now, obviously, it's a little bit compressed down. This is one of the early fights, if I remember correctly, where you fight this guy in the background. At least I think it was him or somebody sort of like that, where he's on the edge of a volcanic location, and I got my butt kicked by him once or twice, but a crew took me through it, and that's one of the exciting things. They even sort of allude to it here. As a globally renowned online RPG, Final Fantasy XIV Online has won the hearts of players not only with its epic storytelling, theatrical combat, and diverse range of casual activities, but also with its unique, welcoming social atmosphere. Final Fantasy XIV Mobile carries forward this signature social experience, embracing an ethos of genuine, low-pressure interactions. The core of the social experience in Final Fantasy XIV Mobile is sincerity, with no imposed social goals or forced engagements, whether it's a mentor helping out a beginner or a party of friends or strangers crossing paths in Eorza. They can always build genuine and meaningful friendships. So I don't think that sounds like a traditional Final Fantasy XIV experience, because there are actually challenging tasks that you can undertake. It seems like this might be Final Fantasy XIV Lite. I don't think it's going to be quite as difficult as the existing Final Fantasy XIV games, but I know this. I'm a big fan. I would love to see how they port it to mobile. And just like I checked out the Destiny mobile version, which it wasn't for me, it was too pared down. I'll be very interested to see how Final Fantasy XIV does. I do think in this instance, Final Fantasy XIV is actually better set up for success, because we've seen how other titles do it. We've seen how the gacha games are able to handle having their game releases on full platforms like consoles, but also have a full release on mobile that just runs and looks great. And I believe a lot of the players for Genshin Impact, as an example, are actually playing on their mobile devices. So I'm curious, what will this entail? Like, what will it look like? Will it be sort of a Final Fantasy XIV Lite, as it seems like they're describing here? Will it have any interaction with the full base game? Will you get any rewards for playing this on the full base game? Time's going to tell, but that is the story, long story short. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. This story was more for me, honestly. I just really like Final Fantasy XIV, and every once in a while, I like to do a story where I just talk about cool things happening in the industry. So if you liked it, you know, hit that like button also. Hit that bell to know when my subscription stuff goes live. But this will allow me to cover like the more interesting stuff, as opposed to just Xbox and PlayStation all the time. And I do want to obviously talk about some of the other cool stuff in the industry. Well, I have you. Thank you so much to the members. And if you would like to become a member and support me making content like this, you can click that join button right down there. I'm going to get out of here. But if you want to see my video yesterday talking about how From Software's parent company could be purchased by Sony, you can check it out right over there. Bye for now, everybody. I'll see you for the next one.